Welcome back to FVRV TV. Yeah, welcome back to FVRV TV, and this is episode 1. Season 1, episode 14. I'm reviewing The Fog, real in 2005. Yeah, genre horror and mystery, directed by Rupert Wainwright. Again, quite a really. I think like Rupert Wainwright did a really good job directing this film. You know, he did a really good job directing this film. He made this film look really good, like generally look really good. I thought, oh my god. That was written by Layne, John Carpenter, Debra Hill. Basically, I think the story's plot, obviously, the thick mist of a vengeful spirit basically goes near the hand of San Antonio, which is obviously in the film is in Oregon, USA, or America, I think. Oregon, prosperous island town, the coast of Oregon, and it's inhabited to try and learn the dark secrets in order to stop it. Now, again, you know what? Right. You know what? I actually thought this film. You know what? I actually thought the film. You know what? Listen. You know what? Listen. Listen. You know what? Listen. I think the writers of this film did a really good solid job. So, you know what? Listen. I thought the story to this film was really good, solid story again. You know what? Listen. I thought the story of the plot to the film was really. Properly really good, like honestly got properly really good solid story, you know, good solid base for the story. The story was really written really well, and you know, okay, you know what, I actually thought the characters, so let's move on. You know what, I actually thought the characters in this film were proper solid good real characters, you know. Characters like Nick Castle and, you know, characters like that in this film were really written, who were like really good story characters, you know. Like this fella's obviously his grandfather, and he's the basic grandfathers that did probably the worst crime I think of, by basically burning the boat that had the people who basically come over to the island, not come over, but basically wanted half the island for them so they could live, and because obviously the people who were on the boat the people actually on the ship called the Elizabeth Dane actually had a very rare disease. Not, you don't see him now, but basically it was a disease called leprosy. Now, if you've got leprosy, now it's kind of on your face, but again, it's disease. Yeah, I think like disease slash thing. I think the disease slash thing on your face. You had it. It didn't look very nice, but again, I think leprosy. It's one of these old diseases you never heard of, but again, it's a bit like the chickenpox, really. You don't really hear it because it's quite old. It's from like the 1800s. So again, you know, it's from like listen. I'm not saying it's from the 1800s, but again, this is one of the things you don't really know, and it's quite interesting, really. Yeah. Okay, listen, I'm starring Tom Wellington as Nick Castle. He's very small bit, he's in that. Then obviously Maggie's Grace, she has Elizabeth Williams. You know, she's in, do you ever seen the film Taken? Like the Taken franchise? She's in that, she's very character. Then obviously Selma Blair as Stevie Wayne. I think she's been some sort of common ways now. Then obviously Deray Davis as Spooner. He's basically the assistant to, like, he's basically like the second man to Nick Castle, really. Then obviously Keneth Welsh as Tom Malcolm, and then is Adrian Hugh as Father Malone. He's like, listen, you know what, I think, yeah, it's really like where, you know, he was generally a good character. Then Sarah Botsford as Kathy Williams. She's basically the mother of, like, you know, the film, you know, she's basically the mother of the character Williams. Then there's Cole Happell as Andy Wayne, and then obviously now I think it's Marty. I think it's Martin or Marty Black. Yeah. I think, and then obviously, okay. Okay, then obviously after. Okay, then obviously. Okay, then obviously after. Okay, and then obviously then it's Mark. And then I think. Listen. I don't want to sound like wrong or not on air, but I think it's Marty or Martin Black. As I think it's like Martin or Marty Black. I think his name is the actor who plays him. Listen, man. Okay. Listen, okay. Listen, man. Okay. Listen. Okay. Okay. Listen. Okay. Listen. Okay. Listen. Okay. Listen. I got it wrong, but I think that's how you spell his name or her name. I don't know. Yeah. As Aunt Connie, and then Jothathan Young as Dean the Weatherman. Christian as founding father, and then Rick Malone as Douglas Arthur. As Douglas as Rick Malone. Yeah. I think Rick Malone was like the one of the cats. I can't remember who it was. And then obviously as David. Sorry, as David Williams. That's the person of them. And then obviously Jerry Cameron as Richard Wayne. He's one of the founding fathers in the film. It's like, you know what? Yeah, really good. Oh, but there we go. Yeah, and obviously Charles Andrew as founding father William Norman Castle. What name? Norman name? Mad name, but it's a weird name, but it's a good name though. Listen, it's a weird name, but it's still a good name, Worst name, but still a good name, Obviously Reid. Oh God, this is a real Reid Salazar as Captain William Blake. He's the one who basically goes aboard, basically, and he's the one who's actually the other one. But you think him and the people on the ship basically died, and it's like, I was like, you know what? It's really interesting. Listen, right, if you want to see a really good, solid horror mystery film, this film is definitely a film for you. You don't like seeing, you don't want listen, you don't horror or mystery films. The film isn't for you. But you know what? Listen, right, you like not horror. Listen, right, you don't like horror or mystery films. But okay, you know what? Listen, right, you want a film that is not too scary, but is a horror but not too scary. Listen, right, you want to watch a horror film. Listen, right, you want to watch a horror film that isn't like which is a horror film, but again, it's a horror film. You know what? I'm not a big fan of horror, but I'll watch that, right? And then you see some jump scares, but again, I think after that, listen, apart from that, this horror film, listen, right, okay, listen, right, into horror films like they're saying you don't like horror films, but again, listen, right, you actually watch this and go, oh yeah, it's actually good, listen, I don't horror, and then go, right, I don't horror films, but again, this horror film, is actually a properly really good, decent good horror film. You know what? It's scary, but not too scary to a point where it's not like, listen, the old horror films, listen, horror films now. It's like, the Dead Messy with all of that stuff, really, and stuff like that. Oh, no thanks. Listen, right, okay. Listen, right, you know what? You want to see a good horror film. Listen, you're not telling you want to watch a film that's got a bit of history as well, mystery and horror to it. But again, you know what? Go, oh yeah, it's a really good film. No, I'm not into horror after that, but yeah, it's really really good film. Yeah, listen, right, I think this film is probably for you, but if it isn't for you, you're obviously not a big, not fan of it, but listen, you're not a big fan of horror films. Listen, right, you're not a big, listen, right, okay, listen, you're not a big, okay, listen, right, you're not a big fan of horror films. This film isn't probably, listen, right, you want to watch a film, is obviously is a horror film, but not in a way of I think it being a horror film, but in a way it's hidden as a horror film where it's a bit of mystery as well, but then goes, oh, it's a bit of story behind that, and then goes, it's really quite interesting, but yeah, I think, because you know what, listen, right, you want to see a really good, horror film, which isn't too much like horror, but this film is probably for you, because again, listen, right, you want something like this horror film like this, and you want to see something good like this film, I would recommend you go, I recommend you should go, I think you recommend, listen, seriously guys, I would seriously recommend watch this film. This film will go, wow, this film is really, really good. And yeah. Anyway, oh yeah, basically, and then obviously, then it's basically Matthew Carrier Holmes as Sean Castle. He is basically the character. He plays he basically plays the character. I think the nephew or brother of Sean Castle, basically the nephew or the brother of Nick Castle. That's what I was going on. But yeah, anyway, This is but I've had to, that's right, yeah, because sometimes I've in fact I will do it. Anyway, listen right. Listen right, if you've got enough money to go out and buy a good horror film, a mystery film listen, good horror / mystery film like this. Listen right, you got enough money to go out there and buy a good, like solid, like a good, like like a really good. You think like I think like a really good, like solid. I think like a really good solid horror / mystery film, like The Fog, which is about 5 was that one. You know what? And you want to see. And you actually want to go out, but you know what? I would recommend you go out, buy the film / DVD, and then watch it, and then go, oh yeah, John was right about, John was generally right about that. Listen, wrong about and then go, John was right, wrong about certain things, but he was right about how good it was and stuff like that. And then listen, right here, like I said, for you're not into stuff like that, you still want to watch a good horror film, which isn't. Yeah, I think obviously it's class horror, but if you want to see a horror film which isn't like that, and go, oh yeah, and you know what, I'm not. Listen, okay. Listen, okay. Yeah, and then obviously, and then another way as well. Not in no way, but like, you know what I mean. Yeah. Okay. You know what? Sorry. I've been drinking because I talked fast. It's. Right. Listen, myself. You know what? Listen, right. Listen. Okay. Listen, right. Okay. Listen. Obviously, if you haven't got enough to go and buy film DVD. Save enough money up and then go out and not listen. Not saying to I'd recommend you listen. Right, right. You haven't got enough money to buy one. Save enough money up and then go out and buy this film. Buy this film's DVD. Go buy this. No, listen right. Listen right. Okay, listen. Listen. Not for you to watch this film, but what I mean with that. Okay, listen. Listen, I'm not forcing you to like go out and buy a film, but what I mean, listen, I want to see a good film like this, obviously a good, like really good film like stories as well. They aren't going to listen, right, you're on the to buy some films TV, save enough, I think I was like, save enough, I think, save enough money up, and then go out and buy this film, and then watch it, go, oh yeah, John was right about this, and and oh yeah, John was right. John not certain things, but John was right about this and stuff like that. How good it wasn't, stuff like that, and But yeah, if you want to, yeah. Obviously that's the review done this one film, but yeah. Let's follow me on. Let's follow me on like social media and whatnot for this. I'm on Facebook.com/FVRV TV. EFC. I don't put EFC because reasons. FVRV TV at EFC, obviously. I would really appreciate you guys sharing it, giving likes, leaving comments. What? I thought this film was really good. I thought this film wasn't very good, or stuff like that. Stuff like comments like comments like that. Oh yeah, John, how long have you been in this channel for? And what? I love. I'd love to hear like comments like that. Ask me what film do I like? What film do I like watching? What film do I think is good now? Or stuff like that. Yeah. Obviously, yeah, and I would really appreciate if you would share it. I would really appreciate if you would share it, give a like, leave comments, and if you want to see more good / great videos, great view, great good / great video content like this, more like episodes of me reviewing like different films, different video games I played, or anything, any. I felt listen, you want to see more video content like that and stuff like that, and you want to hear about, and you want to see exclusive films, that's video game reviews, exclusive films like that as well, and you want to hear about it in the first place, and you want to get notifications for every single video that I upload to this channel, every single video that I upload to, and you want to get notification and video, and you want to get notification for every video that I upload to this channel as well. And I would really appreciate it if you guys would, subscribe to FVRV TV at YouTube.com, because it actually properly massively helps me out, because it really does as well. So yeah. This right. Caitlin's like, you know what? I imagine it probably helps you. I imagine it helps you guys out choosing which videos to watch. I imagine. I don't know. Probably does. Probably doesn't. I don't know. Probably does. Probably doesn't. I don't know, guys. You know. Listen, right, guys. You know what? I imagine it probably helps you guys out choose which videos to watch. I imagine. I don't know. Probably does. Probably doesn't. I don't know, but probably does. Probably doesn't. Who knows? Anyway, yeah. So yeah.